The second program in our summer series is called Shore on the Shining Night, and it takes its title from the great piece by Morton Lauridsen, Shore on the Shining Night, a poem of James A.G. This is a poem that speaks about the beauty of a night spent outdoors, contemplating the stars. And it's something that has natural resonance here in Santa Fe, a place that is so physically beautiful. And of course, the clear night sky is certainly something that we're familiar with here. So this idea that, that we could take this program and build around it the idea of music written for the beauty of the natural world seems to fit very well for us in Santa Fe, and in particular for Lauridsen as well. He's considered the dean of American choral composers, and he has a tendency towards writing what we could describe as mystical music, or music that is contemplative, melodic, and very beautiful. Those that have heard our Road Home recording that just came out, the new Santa Fe Desert Chorale recording from this past year, we have a lot of Lauridsen's music featured there as well. His midwinter songs, which are a little bit more of a spiky modernist set of music than is the Shore in the Shining Night, which is somewhat more romantic and melodic. But we know that Lauridsen's music will make a beautiful centerpiece for this program. Shore in the Shining Night, as a program concept, takes on the idea of not only the beauty of the natural world, but our stewardship of the natural world as well. And we know that's something that will resonate with our audiences here in Santa Fe because it's a very conscious community and a community that lives close to the natural world. Our sense is that music is meant to evoke wonder, it evokes awe, it evokes majesty, very much in the same way as an outdoor experience might. So we think people who are inclined in that way, audience members who are interested in the natural world and especially stewardship of the natural world, will find a sympathetic experience here in this concert in music that is meant to evoke the beauty that surrounds us, particularly here in Santa Fe. One of the pieces that we'll feature on Shore in the Shining Night is a piece by Jake Runnestad. And our audiences might remember Jake Runnestad because we've been performing his music now for a couple of years. We recorded his Reflections, a piece written specially for the Desert Chorale. And then we've last year performed his Hope of Loving piece for string quartet and choir. So we'll bring his music back again this year in a piece called Come to the Woods. And I'm particularly drawn to it because it's words of John Muir. Having grown up in Northern California and having Muir Woods close by, this was a natural place that I was interested in seeing always as a young person, going to see these groves of huge trees. And of course, here in Santa Fe, that's a part of our environment as well. And Muir's words are particularly beautiful in the sense that they, like a lot of Jake Runnestad's music, evoke a sense of breadth and wonder and majesty, much in the same way as the larger program does. So Jake's voice and the way that he writes his compositions, I think, is really well suited, not only for the excitement and the fun when Muir talks about climbing trees and going up to the top of mountains. We sense that in the music, that kind of energy. But there's also a contemplative feeling to it that I think is particularly well suited to the idea of beauty of a summer's night. One of the new pieces that we'll be featuring on this Shore in the Shining Night program is a work by a young composer named Paul Rudoy. We're excited to feature Paul's music, particularly because Paul is also a singer in the Desert Chorale as well as a composer. He set words of the great Persian mystic Hafiz, and it's an exploration of the night sky. So a natural fit for this Shore on the Shining Night program, and the idea of two people very much in love, in an ecstatic love not only with each other, but also with the greater universe. We're going to be concluding our Shore in the Shining Night program with one of the great masterworks of 20th century choral music, In the Beginning by Aaron Copland. Most people know Copland for his orchestral music, particularly Appalachian Spring, which is one of the great orchestral pieces. Fanfare for the Common Man is another one that people know and love very much. But you don't very often hear his choral music, especially In the Beginning, because it's a very challenging work. This is a piece that features mezzo-soprano soloist and chorus singing a cappella without instruments for 20 minutes. And so it's very challenging for the singers as well as for the soloist. Only the glorious voices of the Desert Chorale and groups like us usually take this kind of work on. So we're excited to do it. It's a setting of the words from Genesis that are familiar to most of us in the beginning, and we go through the various days of creation. Copeland has a really picturesque way of painting each day because we get to hear about the creation not only of the various parts of the natural world, but also of whales, of fish, of birds, of great creature, and then ultimately this very, very heroic and exciting ending in which humans are finally created on the final day. It has lyrical moments, it has exciting moments, it has some moments that are incredibly fast and brilliant, it has other contemplative and very mystical moments. It's a great piece of choral music, and we're excited to present it to you in this Shore on the Shiny Night program.